Emo, how you doing? Merritt, how you doing? I'm still down in the dumps, but I don't wanna sit in bed all night and just think about how shitty I feel my situation is. So I'm gonna try to get through a recording for you guys, cause I like I said, it's very therapeutic for me to try to do this stuff, just throw myself into something so I don't have to think about anything. Hey babe, how you doing? So I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter. I know Emo and my girlfriend saw it. Tomorrow's video is gonna be a technical remaster of sorts of a old narration I did on one of my old channels. It's called Persuaded. So we're gonna go take a look at that video right now because the audience who doesn't watch this is not going to be able to actually persuaded creepypasta. I think it was on my old channel, right? Yeah, probably. This one.
It's been 2 weeks since this whole thing started. It all started with the tanker accident. It was all over the news. Everyone thought it was just another oil spill. There were plenty of volunteers.
The music is so loud you can barely hear me.
Defenseless animals. Plenty of victims within hours of the tanking accident. It started happening. The animals had gone crazy. They were scratching and biting the cleanup volunteers.
Well, that's the video we're gonna be remastering today. We're gonna be trying to do that to the best of our ability. It's gonna look the same normally, but it's gonna be exactly the same video, except it's gonna be me, I guess, 3 years later, and showing exactly how much I improved by showing how much work I can put into it, effects wise, sound quality, everything. So.
They said it was an adverse effect to whatever the hell was in that tanker. Rescue workers were still trying to get the crew out of the ship.
I like how there's a huge fucking blank part in that. Aisha, Dustin, CCG, Shark in a Tank, Falia. Hey, Falia! Alright, so we're gonna get into this a little bit, okay. I'm still shitty, but I'm just trying to get through it now. I'm getting there. Yeah. Should be pretty good. Yeah. I hope so. I already know how the story ends. I already know everything about the story, so. Yeah. Shitty as always. Thanks for asking. So we're gonna see how I can make this video like 100 times better than the original one, and then we'll do a side-by-side, I guess, at some point. So, without further ado, Lego my Egos, I guess. So this is Persuaded. This is one of the oldest creepypastas on the website. It's one of the OGs, and it still holds up. I think it still holds up. It's exactly what creepypasta should be in all of its glory, except like most people, when they hear the word creepypasta, if they're not in the community associated with Jeff the Killer and Eyeless Jack and all of them, but those the stories are fucking awful. I think a true testament to creepypasta would be Persuaded, and a lot of the older ones that I've done before. Persuaded being one of the best, and one that's still... You know it's a good creepypasta if it still stands up. Fucking... I think it's 11 years old, so it's 11 years later. So... Anyways. Without further ado... Let's get started. We're just gonna get right into it. Let's get right up close and personal. It's been 2 weeks since the whole thing started. It all started with a tanker accident. It was all over the news. Everyone thought it was just another oil spill. There were plenty of volunteers, plenty of people wanting to help the poor, defenseless animals. Plenty of victims. Within hours of the tanker accident, it started happening. The animals had gone crazy. They were scratching and biting the cleanup volunteers. They said it was an adverse effect to whatever was in the tanker. Rescue workers were still trying to get the crew out of the ship. They could hear screaming inside. There were screams to open the doors, but that's when it all went to hell. As soon as they cut the door out. There were 6 minutes of broadcast before it all went silent. 6 minutes of screaming and agony. The ship crew attacked the rescue workers like rabid baboons. They were breaking bones and tearing flesh. The people on the shore weren't faring any better. Those that had been attacked by animals were attacking everyone else. It was worse than any war zone report. It was sheer brutality, and yet the broadcast still went on for 6 minutes. There was 6 minutes, and then blank faces. Nobody could explain what was happening. They tried to continue with the regular news, the economy, the weather, an acute human interest story. But they couldn't make us unsee what we saw. I tried to continue with my regular existence. But every time I switched on the news or walked by a newsstand, it was there. This big mystery. They had some explanations. It was an infection or maybe brain... First mistake. They had some explanations. It was an infection or maybe brain parasites. But it didn't matter. It wasn't the affection. It wasn't the infection we were afraid of. It was them. 4 days after the initial report, a state of emergency was raised. And yet, we've all seen this before. It's in every zombie movie, ever. People didn't know who to trust. People were stockpiling food and weapons. Some tried to flee, but it seems every zombie movie was right. They didn't make it. 3 days later, they arrived in my town. I expected moans, shuffling corpses, and dismemberment. But that's where the movies lied. They ran through the streets, screaming. I remember running to my front door as fast as I could, locking and barricading, and doing anything to make sure it would stay shut. And then, I headed for the window. I was on the second story and I could see the carnage. They were unstoppable. They were aware. A group of them made their way through a building across the street. They jumped straight... Oh, they jumped. Wow, they jumped. Wow. They jumped straight through the plate glass windows. Even the shards slicing through them made no difference. They just kept coming. My barricade wasn't going to hold. I rushed around my flat, grabbing supplies and jamming them into the most secure room of the flat. And here comes a helicopter. Okay. Grabbing... Oh, I already did that. I went back for one last... Ugh. I went back for one last look across the street. And I wish I hadn't. In a second-story window, my face met one of theirs. They knew where I was. I quickly dashed into the room and locked the door. I don't have any kind of panic room or a secure basement, so the safest place I could think of was my bathroom. There were no windows, and only one door. It had a lock. I had filled my sink and bathtub full of water so I could stay for a while. I sat there in the dark room with the distant screams in my ears. I began to feel like I may have overreacted. It had been 2 hours with no sign of them. It actually got quieter and I thought they had moved on. Maybe I can... Maybe I could leave the room and get to the kitchen. I can grab some more food to wait it out. A crash came through the front door. There was the sound of someone running full force into the door and knocking down the barrier behind it. There were a couple more crashes before I knew they were inside. There were rapid footsteps moving all around the flat. A couple of screams and then a bang on the wall beside me. My eyes were open to their widest, even in the pitch-black darkness of the room. There was another bang, and then another. They knew I was there, and they knew I was scared. This was the zombie nightmare I had been expecting from the start. I had nowhere to run. There was only so much time before they would break in. I sat with my back to the door, hoping my extra weight would make it harder for them to get in. And then it got worse. "Why won't you open the door?" There was a voice on the opposite side of the door. There were no screams or moans, just a quiet, whispery voice. And then more of them. "We've come for you. You'll be happier if you just open the door. It's not so bad." The whispery voices became a I can't fucking say that word ever. How do I say that? Where is it? Where's the fucking word?
Cacophony.
Cacophony, okay. The whispery voices became a cacophony of noise, trying to persuade me, to break me, to fool me. I had heard that the moaning of zombies would drive people insane, but this was worse. A siren call. I sat in the darkness and hoped and prayed that they'd get bored, but they don't get bored and they don't leave. I managed to use the mirror to peek under the door, only to be greeted by horrible, unblinking eyes, blood-smeared faces, screams, and more horrible whispers. That was 2 days ago. I don't know what to do anymore. Maybe it won't be so bad. Da-da-da. Ugh. Vidith's in the chat. Look at that. Evil's in the chat. That's cool. Now we're just gonna get working on the normal thing. Live editing. Video capture device. Yeah. Put me up there. Put this over here. Yeah. Put on some music a little bit. And then we take this, we bring it over here. And then we just juggle it a little bit, and then it becomes a video. Alright, so we're gonna start off. I got tracks. And then it got worse. Why won't you open the door? There were no screams or moans, just a... There was a voice on the opposite side of the door. There's a lot of clicks in this part for some reason. Let's try to get this out. Hey! And then it got worse. Oh, I see what I did. I did something wrong. Meow. I sat with my back to the door, hoping my extra weight would make it harder for them to get in. And then it got worse. Why won't you open the door? Trying to put a low pass filter on it. Why won't you open the door? Yeah, it's not as muffled as I want it to be. Where is it? Let's do like 2500 should be good. Why won't you open the door? Yeah, 2500 is perfect. And then more of them. It's not so bad. Fact. On pass filter, boom. Haha! We've come for you.
You'll be happier if you just open the door. It's not so bad.
And then if we change the pitch of every voice, just slightly.
We've come for you. You'll be happier if you just open the door. It's not so bad.
Meet Orla, how you doing? Yeah. Perfect. Oh, we just gotta find some pictors. That looks so stupid. It also looks dumb. There's the busy. How you doing, bro? No. No. Mm. Mm. Yeah, I feel you, dude. I've been doing that constantly. Come on. Stop being a cock. I really would like to use my computer. Thank you. Yeah, this is fun. This is fun when I can't use anything. Is everything just freezing on me? Yeah, it is. God, just fucking stop. Because there's all this shit running in the background even when I try to fucking close it. I give up. This is what happens when I try to do anything that makes me feel better. Please, for the love of God, just fucking stop. This is taking so fucking long.
It's been too.
Hey, Flag. How you doing? What am I doing? Why am I importing stuff? I don't have anything yet. Stop. I'm gonna fucking punch something. Problem reporting what?
choose to do so in exactly the same pace. Whatever the reason, it must be very important, for a sloth on the ground is almost helpless. Only predators could attack it, and it doesn't have the spirit to resist. Why it comes down in this way is a mystery. Needs are not very nutritious. The sloth's way of compensating for that is not to eat more, but to do less. Its claws hook over the branches so that the sloth can hang without any effort of its muscles, gently reducing thickness. At the same energy, it spends most of its time hanging around half asleep between its claws.
Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm just very pissed off right now. Trying to concentrate. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. That's what I meant to do. Come on. Nightmare, thanks for stopping by. Stream is disconnected. Cool. And it's back. Cool. My editing software still never came back the entire time. That's cool. That's awesome. Am I gonna not be able to finish this video? Because I feel like that's what's going on here. Are you fucking serious? Fuck this computer, man. It's not doing anything, and I'm gonna have to close it, and it's not gonna be saved. I swear to God, if this thing isn't saved. That's great. Yeah, none of it saved. So much for that. I'm just gonna have the video out tomorrow. I'll edit it when I come back from work. Sorry about that, everyone. I'm sorry about getting pissed and being depressed and not being lively for you guys. I'm way too stressed right now. I'm just gonna go to bed. Sorry again. I hope you guys enjoy the video tomorrow.